Cynthia, you talked about the idea of aesthetic mainstreaming, kind of making the far right look whatever, look attractive, look normal, look mainstream. Walk us through how the recruitment process works. So if you're if you want to attract college kids to your group, typically you go to a college and you hand out flyers and you set up tables and you talk to the kids and you get out a clipboard. But that's not how the far right is recruiting potential members, is it? How does it actually work? Walk us through that process.
Well, one of the great ironies, actually, of the recruitment process over the last several years is that paper flyers actually have had a comeback. The Anti-Defamation League has tracked record-breaking numbers of actual paper propaganda, paper flyers being hung around the country, hundreds of incidents just over the last year, heavily targeting college campuses. Besides that, a lot of directed recruitment happens online. We have a lot of white supremacist engagement in online gaming platforms. Someone from a very violent extremist group who was leaving reported that they were working on recruiting young people, kids as young as 8, off of online gaming platforms, directing them to encrypted chat rooms, and then, working to undermine their sense of their parents' authority before they introduced white supremacist propaganda. But they'd say things like, hey, you don't have to listen to your parents. And so this a very manipulative strategy of working to, over long periods of time, kind of groom young people into the belief system. So there are very deliberate and targeted ways. But actually, I think the way that most extremist recruitment is happening for young people today is not directed from the top down. It is through the toxic kind of online ecosystem that people encounter extreme content as they kind of peruse videos or read materials and then follow those recommendation systems.
Cynthia, you've had someone in your research group who had been recruited by the far right and then emerged from that world to tell the story. What role has he played in your work, and what insights has he brought to the picture?
Yeah, we work full time with Caleb Kane, who's a former alt-right and has been an indispensable part of our team, among other things, in running a kind of youth cultural advisory board for us that helps us vet ideas for interventions. Listeners may know his story from a New York Times story about his descent, as he called it, into the alt-right rabbit hole that he created a viral video about, that really shed a lot of light on how those YouTube algorithms can sort of inadvertently direct people toward ever more extreme content. There have been some tweaks to those algorithms that are trying to change that. I know there's a lot of social media efforts to disrupt those algorithms and change the way that pattern happens. But I think a lot of people are drawn into this by searching for something online, maybe about depression or, Googling something, looking something up in a search engine, landing on white supremacist content because it shows up in the search results, or watching a video that then recommends another video that is more extreme. And then gradually encountering this and feeling like they've uncovered something, they've discovered the truth with a capital T that explains all the things that they don't understand or didn't understand before. It wraps up all the uncertainty in their lives into a neat little package of us versus them, of black and white, of very clear responses to, whatever's going on in your life, and gives you a scapegoat to blame.